Hello, I'm Tony Gow. I'm about to take you on a whistle-stop tour through West Ham's season in the Coca-Cola Championship. Last season, of course, West Ham failed by just 90 minutes in the playoff final against Crystal Palace, and they were beaten by a Neil Shipley goal. Neil Shipley, who hasn't played all season for Crystal Palace. That's ironic, isn't it? But here we go. This is Alan Pardew's first full season in charge of the Hammers. Get us back there, Al. This ground deserves it. So it's August, it's the beginning of the season, and Alan Pardew have been busy in the transfer market. I've even had to get this bit of paper. Here's the list of ins and outs. Connolly went for 500 grand. He was joined by Rob Lee, Brian Dean and Kevin Orlock, all on free transfers departing Upton Park. In came Teddy Sheringham, the great Teddy Sheringham, Luke Chadwick, James Walker, and a player who almost single-handedly did over West Ham in a famous FA Cup quarter-final, Sergei Rebrov. He was back here at the Hammers.
West Ham's first challenge was to face relegated Leicester City, who included newly signed David Connolly in their lineup. Despite Connolly's over-keenness to impress and an early bath for Dion Dublin, it was an anti-climax of a match, but a welcome early season point, the only disappointment being the sending off of Rufus Brevitt just 5 minutes from the end.
So they push forward again with Bywater. That's a long clearance, misdirected header from Sheringham. And a miscue there that sends Chadwick wide. He's turned it across and Sheringham scored! His first goal for West Ham in his first league game in front of the fans. 800 league appearances. And this is a goal that must mean as much to him as the first one he ever scored in his career. Perhaps more importantly, it's put West Ham ahead with 9 minutes to go in a vital game against Alan Pardew's old side. It was a complete miss-scoop. Sheringham's header is misdirected, but substitute Chadwick went wide, as he's been doing for the last 10 minutes. Pulled in a great cross, which Sheringham tucked away neatly to put Hammers in the lead. And if you think this game doesn't matter to Pardew, look at this. Take that, Lucozade bottle. West Ham ahead.
Facing Paul Jules Wigan, the team they denied a playoff place to on the last day of the previous season, West Ham were turned over by two first-half strikes. First from Ellington, and then from Roberts. Early in the second half, they made it 3 when Ellington hit his second of the game. Zamora's consolation 11 minutes later did nothing to placate the impressive footballing lesson Hammers had been given on the afternoon.
Played 2 games, a couple of clean sheets, and you're thinking this is going really well. And then I got my knee injury. It just sort of came in the second game against Reading. His first minute, just turned to run. I just felt something not right, and that was me. And it's been ended up a real problem for the manager, because obviously we've had other injuries at the back as well. And it's ended up, I think we've played about 35 games. He's had to use about 30 different defences, which is obviously not ideal.
Well, it was just 6 days later that it was announced that Michael Carrick was leaving West Ham to join Spurs. Oh boy, did that one hurt for the fans. But needs must, we needed the money and we needed it to survive. I believe Michael will go on to play for England. Let's hope he goes on to play for England in the number 6 shirt, which he graced here at West Ham, along with a lot of other great players.
lovely football from West Ham. Carrick in the centre of the field. He's got everybody in front of him, and he's trying a shot, and Edmund must have taken his eye off the ball. I have no idea why. But it's a goal, and it's Michael Carrick's first goal for West Ham. Run here from Harewood. Chadwick pulls it back. Sheringham! And it's the combination that got them the goal against Reading, and it's opened the scoring for him here against Crewe. Chadwick pulling the ball back. Sheringham, wonderful finish. West Ham a goal to the good. Another touchback from Harewood. Here's Sheringham. The shot was blocked. Ball goes out to Etherington. Sheringham again! It's 2 for West Ham and 2 for Teddy Sheringham. Lovely cross from Etherington. Wonderful poacher's goal. Could get something back here. That's just a fingertip stop from Bywater. Brevitt. What a shot from Brevitt. Rufus Brevitt with a quite stunning finish. Didn't really know how to celebrate it, but not quite sure how you would. West Ham have 3. Yeah, that's a better break. Chadwick's tackle wasn't that well timed. Here's Ashton, and Crewe have one back. Dean Ashton. Not a great clearance again. Sheringham heads it down. Harewood! Great stop from the keeper. He's hanging on a bit now. And Ashton has a second. And Crewe may well still have something to say about this game. Corner which almost can't get away yet. Flags up. Hit the bar, but it wouldn't have counted.
Obviously I'd watched Alan's career closely, but I was at Bournemouth as assistant manager there. I used to be at Reading, and Alan came for a period when I was there, and then I left Reading and came to Bournemouth as assistant manager there. And then I got a phone call around about January time, asked me if I would be interested in meeting Alan, and I met him, and obviously, as I said, completely right out of the blue, and he asked me would I like the opportunity to come here, because I think Paul Goddard was the assistant here beforehand, and I thought obviously Paul was still here. And then I got offered the job. At first it was a bit of a difficult time because my father-in-law and that had just died and whatever, and I wasn't really wanting to move away from the family, even though it was just at Bournemouth. But I thought it was important to be there for my wife and whatever. So it wasn't as easy a decision as people would think. Footballing wise, for sure. I mean, coming to a club like West Ham United, that opportunity doesn't arise very often. But there was obviously other sides of it and other issues that I had to make sure were clear first. And then when I got all in my mind, I was delighted to take the opportunity, and I'm delighted to have an opportunity to work at a club like this.
Pettifer. The bag cross, Dugfield gets up, came off the back of Luke Chadwick's head as Rio Coker brings the ball away for West Ham. He's got options, one of them is Marlon Harewood, who's gone wide. Harewood turns it in, and it's a lovely goal. 11 minutes gone, and that's Marlon Harewood's first goal of the season, and hammers ahead. Another ball played in to Harewood. He's turned well, and Greemink was all ends up beaten there from the effort from Harewood, but it hit the post. Something still. Dugfield's shot gets blocked, and Harewood comes away. This would certainly be a good way to seal it. Harewood's second does, and West Ham are through to the second round of the Carling Cup. Spectacular finish. He was never going to lose it. Harewood has 2, and West Ham are through.
Yeah, no, it's nice to get a first game under the belt. I mean, you know, when we had a decent result, it was nice to get a feel of the place. I've played at Upton Park a few times and always enjoyed playing there, you know, and it was nice to be playing from the home changing room, coming out from the home side. You know, it gave me a little buzz, and it's been nice to get a few games like that under the belt. So, like I say, coming here was a massive step for me. It's a massive club to come to, and sort of in the 3 or 4 games I started to play, then I sort of got the feeling about the place and how big a club it really is.
Good solid thumping clearance. That's a neat touch in. Rio Coker is wide here. Mullins drives one in, it's a bit overhit. Harewood wanted to turn on it. Here comes Nolan! Well, he gave that some, and on the hour, West Ham are ahead. Coyne, no chance at all. He struck it into the ground, but the power continued. And West Ham have a goal.
West Ham's newfound playoff position in the table was only to last 1 match after their visit to Coventry City's Highfield Road. They did, however, take the lead in the 42nd minute thanks to this excellent piece of work from Marlon Harewood and a finish by Teddy Sheringham. It may have been Marlon Harewood's goal from the way he celebrated. But then the build-up was excellent, and just a tap-in for Teddy Sheringham. Coventry were level just 2 minutes later with a goal from Michael Doyle. He seemed determined to outdo Marlon Harewood's celebration. Coventry hit their winner in the 76th minute, and it was Andrew Morrell with an acrobatic finish who pushed the ball past Stephen Bywater.
Over the line or not over the line? We won't even go there. That starts so many arguments, doesn't it? By the end of August, West Ham had pulled themselves up to 7th spot after a dreadful start. They got there via a couple of great victories against Reading and Burnley. Poor starts to a season doesn't necessarily mean you're going to have a bad season. In 85-86, we had a terrible start. But then we went on from there and we had West Ham's best ever season. By the way, I was one of only 3 ever presents in that squad. Who was the other 2?
One of the problems we have at West Ham is we're always looking backwards when we really should be looking forward, and it's difficult with the great history we've got. I've enjoyed being manager of this club, and I continue to enjoy it, and most days I come in here with a smile on my face, ready to work with a good set of players, and you know, the frustration that sometimes I have with the media and some of the criticism that comes our way, I try to channel it in the right way with being positive around this place.
Well, some people say I get ideas above my station, but I was here for 10 years after all. West Ham began September by signing Carl Fletcher for 250 grand from Bournemouth. Carl could play in either midfield or at centre-back. Alan had been watching him for 8 months and really thought he was a good signing. Here's a little question for you. In 85-86, that great season we had at West Ham, who wore the number 6 shirt? It wasn't me.
It's a better throw out. Touch to Chadwick. Mullins clearance. Picked up by Harewood. Oh, what a goal! Marlon Harewood! Mullins ball through, but look at the determination as Harewood picks this up and hits surely one of the best goals he'll ever score. Quinn. Oh, it's gone in, and Bywater off his line, couldn't reach it. Sheringham. Oh, it's taken a deflection off Jagielka, and Hammers may have stolen 3 points at Bramall Lane. Teddy Sheringham.
Marlon's goal against Sheffield United away, I think, was a great strike from about 30 yards out, I think. So, you know, that was probably one of the goals of the season. Teddy's against Wolves, probably the importance of it as well. But, you know, the way he's chipped it over the defender and then put it in the bottom corner was sheer class, really.
Repka picks this one up from Davenport. Out wide to Sheringham. Nice dummy from Chadwick. Harewood, if he can turn. But he's wrestled over in the end. It'll be a free kick to West Ham. Etherington will take this one. Rotherham just getting the wall sorted out. Can he curl it? He can! and against a side that have yet to win in the league. It's taken West Ham 70 minutes, but Matthew Etherington's put them ahead. Powell picks it up. Chadwick. Lovely cross. Mackay! Malky Mackay, his second home game in a West Ham shirt, puts the Hammers ahead. And it's West Ham making the early play in this game. Chadwick, as he did against Reading, a lovely early cross. And Mackay, like an old-fashioned centre forward, came bundling up and steered it past Davis. It was intelligent from Powell, a good ball from him. Chadwick, nice cross. Look at that bullet head, nothing was going to stop that. Etherington's corner. Mackay's up again, off the line. Howard, Sheringham. Davis has made an unbelievable stop. Even better than the first one from Mackay. Gets a congratulatory pat from Sheringham. Boy, did he deserve it. Mackay looking for his second goal. Had that blocked on the line by Kanyargo. When it came to Sheringham, what a stop from Davis. He did want to keep that in, Etherington. And Fletcher goes down, it's a penalty! And Matthew Etherington can claim a lot of credit for that, because he kept that ball in and Fletcher did everything right. Just tipped it past Davis, who had to bring him down. It's a yellow for Davis. He stays on the pitch, but West Ham have a chance to go 2 up against the league leaders. And Sheringham it is. Your money's on him. Oh, and he's put it wide. There can't be too many of them in Teddy Sheringham's career. But a really good chance for West Ham to take a 2-goal lead against Ipswich. And Sheringham's thrown it away. He beat the keeper, sent him the wrong way, but wide. Of course, they only have this 1-goal deficit. Garvin's wide ball. Gone to the byline, pulls it across. And somehow Bywater tipped that one away from Miller. Miller looked like he'd found the equaliser. It was a great run. Nice one to Repka beaten. And look at this stop from Bywater. It really was a good save, seen on the replay. Miller will take the corner. Oh, it might come to Kanyargo! And Ipswich are level. Holes in the West Ham defence. Rebrov. Oh, he's done well here. Etherington. And Howard. How did he miss? The goal gaping before him. Etherington can't believe it either. It was a measured cross. And Howard took it off Davenport's head as well. So West Ham kick off this second round Carling Cup game against Notts County with the lure of Premiership clubs coming into the next round. And a decent draw would be what they'd be looking for if they can get past Notts County. Here's Rebrov. Oh, and Zamora gets a very, very early goal. That's unbelievable. 18 seconds we've got on the clock, and West Ham ahead. Bobby Zamora will be pleased with that. Ullathorne. Deep, deep cross. Oh, and it's going to be in. It's Wilson's goal. And Notts County are level. Rebrov, he's been everywhere tonight. That's a nice touch. Zamora! A quality strike from a West Ham striker and fan. Bobby Zamora gets his second. It's another good free kick from Ullathorne, and Richardson's got away from the West Ham defence, and they're level. Unbelievable. 3 minutes after Zamora's goal. Rebrov. It's quite a strike. He's gone straight through Dean. How embarrassing for the Notts County keeper. But it had power and direction. Just needed a little bit of help. Sergei Rebrov. Oh. Good play from Harewood, who never let the defender out of his sight, and he may have a penalty here. And Bobby Zamora is looking at the spot lovingly. It could be a hat-trick for him. And Dean has made up for that howler with Rebrov's free kick with a great penalty save. West Ham have missed 2 in 2 matches at home. This time the culprit Zamora.
Fletcher settled in well at West Ham. Can also play as a centre-half, which he seemed to do a lot for Bournemouth. Etherington has got the better of Perch. He's closing in, and he's got Marlon Harewood waiting. And it had to be him again. Scored on his return here last season. Does it once more, and West Ham are in front. Troubled times for Forest at the moment. One result might change that, though.
That's all it takes. That's all it takes. One result, one piece of luck.
Getting a few of the injured players back. Couldn't go amiss either. Here is Bop. Evans. He has hit them from range before in his career, and he's only gone and done it again. Tall Evans is the Forest saviour. Etherington is trying to win it for West Ham. It's blocked by Morgan.
How many times have we said that this afternoon? It's been blocked by Morgan.
Quite a few. Now, it's Marlon King. He could win it for Nottingham Forest. He does win it for Nottingham Forest. That is sensational. Marlon King back in favour after a bust-up with the manager, and he becomes a hero.
Idiakis will take the corner for Derby. There are 6 men up in the box. That's how committed they are to finding the back of the net. Repka didn't get there, Johnson did, and they have found the back of the net. It's an early lead for Derby. 6 minutes gone. Kenner's throw. Power forward again. It's a long effort. Chadwick got taken out, but Mullins came in well. Here's Sheringham. Lovely cross. Harewood couldn't get to it. Etherington could. And the Derby goalkeeper, whose name is Camp, something pretty theatrical about the dive. He was unfortunate because Etherington's shot got a deflection of Kenner at West Ham level. Mullins. A lovely touch from Sheringham. Rio Coca, and it might be 2 for West Ham, cleared off the line by Kenner.
September was an improved month for the Hammers. 3 victories and just 1 defeat. Malky Mackay joined from Norwich. Of course, he was instrumental in their great season they had when they got promoted to the Premiership. A couple of ironies here. Malky Mackay was a teammate of Frank McAvenny, and he scored on his first ever Saturday game at Upton Park. Actually took me 2 seasons to score my first goal for the Hammers at home to Coventry. It was the winner, mind you. And then we went back to the pub.
It's their 4th successive game against a team from the Midlands. The West Midlands in this case. It was Powell's header out to Etherington.
And Harewood chasing this long ball. He's left Craddock for dead. He sets up Zamora, but it's not going to count. Zamora is offside. He can't believe it. The flag did go up. Zamora scored those 2 goals against Notts County. Denied here by the flag. Some nice football. Olafinjana got hold of that, but no real problem for Bywater. Plucked that out of the air. Put some welly on it, but This is all about good positional play from Bywater. Oh, there's not a good shot. That was Miller. And he did turn well on that. And Bywater was beaten. Ince set him up. He may even have got a touch. Mullins. Oh, surely fouled by Lofinjana, but he's won the ball back. He's got the corner. Sheer persistence there from Hayden Mullins. It paid off as Rebrov's corner comes in, and Howard. He's furious with himself, and he should be. Had plenty of time to direct that ball. A nice shot from behind the goal. He got power, but he got closer to the camera than he did the post. Marlon Harewood. Alan Pardew wondering where the goal is going to come from. Wolves, Newton with a bending free kick, which Bywater does brilliantly to tip over. He's saying he didn't have the men in the wall he asked for. Newton, it was a splendid free kick taken quite quickly, but Bywater was equal to it. Powell. He would let that one go through to Sheringham. Oh, and Lescott's messed this one up. Here's Sheringham! And the old man has done it again. On as a substitute for Bobby Zamora. He finishes spectacularly well after a mistake from Jolyon Lescott. Chris Powell started it off with that ball. Touch from Sheringham to Harewood. Sheringham took it off Lescott and finishes brilliantly. The great goal mistake from Lescott, but a really clinical finish from Teddy Sheringham. A classic Predators goal. West Ham's first competitive fixture against Queen's Park Rangers for almost a decade was a bad-tempered affair. Rangers' winner came early in the first half from Matthew Rose, taking his chance well after a clever through ball from Lee Cook that exposed the West Ham defence. Now Etherington with acres of space. Little touch from Rio Coca. Etherington thought about a shot. Finds Harewood with a great ball. Harewood! Marlon Harewood turned well and steered that ball past De Hoy. Not the greatest of goal celebrations, but a really good turn from Harewood. Good header from Brevitt. That's all about getting to the ball first. Chadwick. That's not a bad cross. Harewood and Sheringham! A really cheeky back flick. And on the hour, West Ham have a 2-goal cushion. Lovely touch from Sheringham. It's Fletcher's corner. Oh! What a chance for Sheringham to score a second. He doesn't get there. It was a good clearance, and Harewood puts Zamora through. Still got a lot to do, Bobby Zamora, but he's done it. And he's found the back of the net with a really good finish. Ball through from Harewood. Etherington. Now Zamora. And Harewood! Bobby Zamora repays the compliment, and Harewood makes it 2 for West Ham. Etherington's corner. Zamora, and Mullins has got it! Hayden Mullins turned the shot from Zamora into a cross and gets West Ham's 3rd. Completely unmarked. Worthy. And Byfield's got up here, and that's a good header. A soft goal, but Gillingham have one back. It's 3-1.
Lomas competing with Thiago. Cole turning adroitly and playing a smart ball for Robin, who's onside, and Brevett is giving chase. It's Ian Robin. Brevett closed him down. It came to Keshman. Oh, what a save! That is a fantastic reflex stop by Jimmy Walker from Mateo Keshman. Lomas. Zamora. Just Gallas between him and the box here. Bobby Zamora! They are looking confident. Etherington's free kick. Oh! No, that was pretty close. Cut out by Mullins, and Cole! Oh, that is a terrific save from Walker. Cole was bound to score, and the keeper got something on it. Ferreira. Jeremy, at pace, away from Brevett. Jeremy's cross, Keshman! When? This is Keshman trying to dart in, it's Ferdinand going across and playing with fire, and Keshman has been denied by Walker, and Ferdinand has been dug out by Walker. Ferreira, Nathan Etherington, in for Cole. Joe Cole! Another vital touch from Walker. Thiago for Cole. And Cole through for Mateo Keshman! His moment! The boy will burst with blue relief! Has ever a man needed a goal like Mateo Keshman needed a goal? And Robin can try and show a clean pair of heels to Brevett, who's got back well. Brevett has taken him on. It's Ian Robin, away from Rufus Brevett. He struck it against his own man Keshman, against the referee, got it back. Duff darted in. Referee saw Repka challenge Robin. The two have squared up. It's all got a bit silly. Well, West Ham are surrounding Andy D'Urso, who may have given a penalty here.
I think he has, Peter, yeah.
Chelsea against West Ham. You try taking the ball off Frank Lampard. He went to bed last night dreaming of this moment. In front of 6,000 fans who used to sing his name. Lampard! Oh, Walker has gone and saved it. And whether or not Chelsea win the cup tie, that is a moment for the West Ham fans to carry home with them. Lomas, Brevett, they need to get it in the box here, West Ham. And Brevett's done that. And they've hit the crossbar, and it's behind by Duff. Anton Ferdinand, in the 90th minute of the game.
The ball's gone to Rufus Brevett, and he's put in a lovely ball. And I've just got a glance ahead on it, and as I've got my head to it, one of the defenders knocked me over, so I didn't see it. I just heard it hit the bar, and got up, and I was gutted because it was a good chance, and the keeper was well beaten. It was good to play against players like that, like Kesman, Jeremy, and players like that, of that calibre, and Robin. Was unbelievable, but I thought the boys that on the night were terrific. I mean, I thought we gave them a good game, better than some of the teams that they've played against this year, and we showed that we could cope with that level.
It was a good game. When you go on to see what they've gone on to do this season, you know, it just shows how close we came to really doing something special. And you know, the lads equipped themselves well, and we did really well against some of the world's greatest players. And you know, just capped off a good night. Would have been even better if we'd have sneaked a draw or something, but you know, it weren't to be. But you know, capped the night off for me was obviously Frank's penalty. It was just one of them. I didn't realise quite what it would mean to the fans. And when I saved it, I think I did afterwards. That's all anyone reminds me of. So it was nice to save it.
Long clearance from Larrier. West Ham can break here. Etherington having it taken off his toes. Rio Coca. It's a nice ball to Lomas. Now Etherington with a lovely cross. A great goal from Howard. But it's offside. It really didn't look offside to me. He can't believe it. Lomas takes the ball off Etherington. A real long throw. Zamora heads it on. Rio Coca just wide. Larrier was beaten there.
West Ham making all the early running in this game. There is trying to force the home advantage. Can never set it free. A complete miscue. Embarrassing himself in front of home fans. Zamora, a good break for West Ham. A real deep cross from Bobby Zamora. Etherington got pushed over. The referee not interested, but he's won the ball back. And Brevitt. West Ham, plenty of possession. Got to turn that into something. Is Mullins still appealing for offside? That's a lovely header, and it's a great goal from Steve Lomas. Scored a fabulous header against Manchester United a few years ago, and that's another great one. Break here from Mullin. Wide. Hodges cross. Evans! Just tipped away by Bywater. Well, that was a great cross. 1 or 2 with this. It's another cross, and Bywater's up. But probably not going in. He wasn't going to take any chances with that dipping header. Now, the substitutes. Plymouth places this one, he certainly can hit him. Wharton. Oh, and it's got a deflection, it's gone in past Bywater. And West Ham, having done all the hard work, get finished off by a sucker punch.
West Ham drew at Plymouth, but they had a disallowed goal which would have took them into second spot, an automatic promotion place. And that's exactly a year after Alan Pardew took charge. It was a good month nonetheless, and in that month also they had a great performance in the Carling Cup, where they narrowly lost to Chelsea. These were an hard act to follow, these three. Even I and the good boys from 85-86, we couldn't follow them.
All the hard work of West Ham's first 3 months of the season looked under threat after a disastrous game at Ninian Park. Hammers a goal behind after Alan Lee's 3rd minute side foot. It wasn't the start they wanted. Joe Ledley made it 2 from ex-Hammer Joby McAnuff's cross 13 minutes later. 9 minutes into the second half, Alan Lee picked out Paul Parry, who effectively ended the game after 54 minutes. Quarter of an hour later, though, Harewood pulled a goal back from the penalty spot after being brutally stopped in full flow. Ex-Hammer Joby McAnuff, however, had the last laugh, marking a great performance with Cardiff's 4th, a quarter of an hour before the end.
Fans and spectators have expectations, and they believe every time we go out there we should perform to the best of our abilities. But obviously they don't train day in, day out, and they're not in the football environment day in, day out. They don't know the situations and the things that we have to deal with and the things that are going on in the club at training ground and stuff like that. They don't know how hard it is for us professionals to perform at that level week in, week out, and especially if you've been ill or you've got family problems and all that. They don't really see that. They only expect you to be Nigel Reo-Coker out on the football field.
Not a great throw. Chadwick picks up the loose ball, plays a 1-2 with a QPR defender, and he's in on goal, and Shitu weighs into him. And like a felled tree, Chadwick went down. There can't be any argument about that, surely. Clumsy challenge. Marlon Harewood. 2 steps, 1 strike, and a converted penalty for Marlon Harewood. West Ham were missing them earlier in the season, Sheringham and Zamora, but Harewood shows he's the man. Great tackle there. A lovely shot from Gallen. And an even better save from Bywater. It's a great throw from Bircham. Santos gets up, and McLeod! The Queen's Park Rangers pressure has paid off. Etherington, great run here. Mackay couldn't turn on it. Zamora dummies it for Howard. And Anton Ferdinand's going to be buried in goal celebrations. Sergei Rebrov gives up, but Hammers have the lead again, and this time a spectacular strike from Howard, his second of the game, and it may be enough for all 3 points. Despite that excellent win against Queen's Park Rangers, Hammers fell to a sucker punch from newly promoted Brighton at Upton Park. Very deep now. Coming forward. Powell's ball to Howard. It's a great turn from Howard. He goes down on the edge of the area, right on the edge. But he doesn't get the free kick, does he? He's got a red! It's unbelievable. And now the decision that we were hoping for, that's, well, does that look like a dive to you? I think there's contact, definitely contact from Ward. There's no question about it. Slightly less compromising from Bargy. That's a great cross, and it's a goal for Millwall. It's Dicchio who launched himself at that cross. Darlington with the throw. A neat 1-2. Got a bit of space here. It's not a bad cross. Here comes Gunnarsson, and Watford have the lead on 5 minutes with a very special strike. It's better again from Chadwick and Rio Coca, who's fought off the defender. Good shot, good stop from Lee, got down well. Good response from West Ham to that early goal. It's a long clearance, and West Ham are all committed up front. Repka needs to win this, he doesn't. Dyer is in here, and Bywater's off his line, and Hammers are 2 goals down after 20 minutes play. Rebrov. Oh, that's a powerful shot. It's in from Rio Coca. Nigel Rio Coca was on hand after Lee couldn't hold this free kick from Rebrov. Slotted home to give Hammers a bit of a look in. Another good corner, and it's a goal from Darren Powell. The on-loan defender from Palace has headed a powerful equaliser for West Ham. The comeback is almost complete. There's a great ball to Etherington, right across the goal, and Rebrov! A fabulous ball from Lomas. Etherington's cross met at the far post by Rebrov, and West Ham turn a 2-0 deficit into a 3-2 lead.
November saw the Hammers stutter really badly, 3 defeats out of 5, yet still incredibly they retained their playoff spot. Perhaps they needed a little bit of that Julian Dix grit, or a little bit of that determination from Billy Bonds. Wouldn't they just love to be playing nowadays?
Chadwick coming in field, now he can run at Sunderland. It's fed Fletcher. Oh, thudded against the post. Nothing whatsoever that Thomas Mara could do other than admire the crashing shot from Carl Fletcher. Given tamely away by Rebrov. Tries to make up for it. Something developing here between Chadwick and Caldwell, which is rather unnecessary. The Sunderland player tries to retrieve the ball quickly. referee didn't much like the look of it. Cards out for Caldwell. It's red. And Stephen Caldwell's reaction to that situation has brought him setting off here with 5 minutes of the first half still remaining. It's been won by Rebrov, and this is Chadwick, and he has Harewood free in the centre, and this is Marlon Harewood, and it has been coming. West Ham United take the lead. Collins ran into trouble, but when Chadwick got free, Harewood was completely unmarked. And for the 6th time in his last 9 West Ham matches, Marlon Harewood finds the back of the opponent's net. Harewood will pick up the baton, and Zamora is free in the centre, and Bobby Zamora's got a chance here to seal the victory. And still, instead it's Sheringham, and now it is 2-0. Sunderland committed everything in an attempt, one last attempt to save the game. And they were teased by Zamora before Sheringham applied the final touch to mark his comeback from injury.
Just a little touch. Lovely turn from Etherington. Here's Rebrov. Oh, what a great fisting save from Neil Sullivan. He's got a good hand on that. Rebrov, explosive shot. A great stop from the Leeds keeper. Darren Powell needs to get to this one first. Oh, that's a terrible back pass. But Dean has missed it. Clipped the bar. And Powell has got away with it. Very fortunate. Long clearance. From Bywater. Here's Fletcher. All sorts of options there, but Etherington's cross. Harewood's down and Chadwick's in there. Luke Chadwick has found the back of the net for West Ham, and it's been coming. Etherington's cross put the pressure on the Leeds defence, and Harewood was causing problems in there as well. Fletcher in the end chose Etherington. Harewood got the cross in, and there's Matthew Kilgallen, ex of West Ham, on loan anyway. Bit poetic justice that he was the one who set Chadwick up for his goal. A vital goal for Luke Chadwick and West Ham. It's not a bad corner. That looks like handball from Darren Powell. The referee says no penalty. The Leeds players absolutely furious. We'll have another look at this. Oh dear, it does look as though Powell's got away with it. It's the second escape he's had today. And surely not, he's given a penalty. Can you believe it? In the last minute, Lomas cannot believe it. Mike Pike, and really that dive, well, that makes Peter Kay's John Smith bomber look tame. Look at this. Healy's gone over, Lomas hasn't even touched him. Well, these could argue they should have had a penalty earlier, and it's getting nasty. But Lomas is furious. Powell is really getting wound up, and presumably comments about his earlier handball. The Leeds players saying that it was rough justice, but they have a penalty in injury time to steal a point in a game they really deserve to get nothing out of. And Healy, the man who went over like a sack of potatoes, hopefully will hit this penalty like one. Bywater, can he save it? He can't, and leaves a level, and they've stolen a point. Unbelievable. And they have gone from strength to strength, even since they were left by David Moyes, who's done his own job at Everton. Now Cresswell's got up here. He got away from Powell. Bywater just made a good save. And Lomas trying to clear the danger for West Ham, but an early worry there. Lewis calling for it. This is O'Neill. Lewis will get it. It's a lovely shot. Eddie Lewis puts Preston ahead. After just 8 minutes. Good throw in. Preston are making all the play. Here's Lewis again. He's the danger man. It took a deflection and Bywater made an excellent save. O'Neill jumps up. Chadwick. Repka. Not a good header from Repka. Here's O'Neill. It's an error from Repka, and right on half-time, Preston have punished West Ham with a second goal. Good play from Rio Coca. Turned on from Harewood, Repka, and Rio Coca. And Repka makes up for his first half error by providing an excellent pass, which Rio Coca turns in to make it 2-1. Repka beaten as Lewis breaks again for Preston. And West Ham really can't concede a third. Here's Lewis! A deflection took it onto the bar, and again Bywater keeps it out. And West Ham survive. Another hairy moment. An early corner for Forest. Bywater calls for it. Repka clears it. Not a great header. Louis Jean turns it back. Dawson's made the jump, but it's an infringement. It won't count. Let off for West Ham. Well, that'll be a free kick. Chadwick wants to take it quickly. Here's Harewood. Good stop, vital stop from Gerrard. Etherington unlucky when the ball came to him, just over. Powell tried to get that little 1-2 going with Etherington, as did Harewood. Etherington. Oh, he scored! Well, he won't get an easier goal than that, but I don't think he knew very much about it. It was Thompson's back pass, and Gerrard. Oh dear. West Ham have the lead in comical style. Matthew Etherington. Etherington's corner. Flicked on by Mackay. Sheringham! And it's 2-0 after 38 minutes. A well-worked goal. Again, Etherington causing difficulties with that corner, and Sheringham against his old club finishes in the 6-yard box. Wanted to turn that in. It's not a bad cross from Derry. Johnson! Well, he likes this ground. He scores plenty of goals here, and he's pulled one back for Forest. Even quicker than the cameraman. As they break. Johnson. He has a real chance here, and he's found the corner. It's 2-2. Johnson's second. 2 in 3 minutes. Etherington. Sheringham, a little faint, little shimmy. Giving Chris Powell something to chase. A bit of fortune, but favours the brave. Up goes Sheringham! Well, even if it came off his shoulder, it's a third for West Ham. And Sheringham again finds the net. It was tenacity and determination from Powell, and a beautifully measured cross, which Sheringham met with a bit of head, a bit of shoulder, but they all count. It's 3-2 West Ham. McLaren's long ball comes to Monkhouse. That's a neat cross in for Butler, takes it down well, and Rotherham have the lead. Unbelievable.
does take most of their corners. Gets this one in.
Oh, it was almost an own goal by Mullins. Not for the first time, I can tell you. This time last year, I think he scored an own goal. Not out yet, though, and it is now. It's in the back of the net from McIntosh. And Rotherham have an unthinkable 2-goal lead. Sheringham and Harewood. Well, he's pulled down by Pollock. And it's a penalty for West Ham. 20 minutes left. A vital penalty which Sheringham is going to take. Right in the corner. And the keeper guessed right, but Sheringham put too much power in it. Bywater urging everyone up. Lovely flick on header from Harewood. And McIntosh has fouled Sheringham. Is it in the area? The referee has no doubt. Let's look at this here. That looks adjacent, to say the least. 2 steps, and Harewood will whack it. A second penalty for West Ham. And they're level. 2 goals in 5 minutes, both penalties, and only what's deserved for Pardew's men's second half performance.
New ground, but still a cracking atmosphere, and I think the West Ham supporters make that. Who can forget the semi-final last year against Ipswich in the playoffs? I think they won the Hammers the game that night. Let's hope they can do it this season for them as well. Well, West Ham finished 2004 quite well with a great comeback against Rotherham. It was going to be tough all the way though, because in the new year the first game up was against the league leaders Ipswich. A tough task after all.
Richardson to left full back, being discomforted by Marlon Harewood, and the goalkeeper has had to come. He's lost it to Harewood, and Harewood has steered it in, and West Ham have capitalised on a catastrophe inside the first minute of the game and have taken the lead at the home of the league leaders. Well might he smile, well might he scowl. Matt Richards appeared to have plenty of time. Harewood was in a hurry. Davis came, Harewood dispossessed and did the rest. And West Ham have a party popper start to 2005. Ferdinand, Harewood, Williams. Harewood in search of something to seal it. A few moments down by the corner flag isn't a bad second best. He's done better than that, Marlon Harewood. He's wriggled into the box. It's Harewood's cross. It's come out to Rebrov. Surely now, it's 2, it's over, it's Etherington. And the leaders of the championship are suffering their first home defeat of the season. There are bubbles being blown though for West Ham, for whom this is a notable scalp. A terrific way to start the year in the East End. Matthew Etherington from a yard or 2 out after Marlon Harewood had done all the hard work and Rebrov had fired it back in. A goal in the first minute, a goal in the very last minute, and West Ham have done a job on the morning leaders.
From the sublime to the core blimey, Hammers missed a great chance to climb safely into the playoff positions with a disappointing performance against Neil Warnock's improving Sheffield United. First, a disastrous own goal by Thomas Repka, and then in the second half, a rasping shot from Bromby stole all 3 points for Neil Warnock's Sheffield United.
85-86, that's what I'd like to be remembered for, playing in one of the best ever West Ham sides, but unfortunately people remember me for 1991, getting sent off in an FA Cup semi-final. There's no prizes for guessing the name of that referee. That's etched on every West Ham fan's memory. But again, we were outside the top flight this year, as was West Ham this season, and West Ham drew Premiership opposition in the third round of the FA Cup, Norwich, here at Upton Park.
it breaks down. But West Ham have maybe just edged the opening quarter of an hour of this game. Rebrov. Chadwick back to Rebrov, danger here, good try! Really dangerous player, Sergei Rebrov, coming from deep today for West Ham. And Norwich haven't really picked him up yet. Really good 1-2. Rebrov into Chadwick and back again, and Green got a touch on this, I think. Bentley again. Good save. Darren Huckabee with a sight of the West Ham goal. Blow he took in the opening seconds of the half, and Huckabee's away off after this one, and he's onside. Huckabee! Oh, and he's hit the post. Johnson following up. Clearest chance by a country mile. Oh, Repka dwelt on it. Here goes Huckabee. Jarvis to his left-hand side. Matthias Johnson for Norwich. Johnson! Great save by James Walker. Another great opportunity for Norwich goes begging. Here's Chadwick. It rolled away from Mulrine. Hayward is in the middle. It's Hayward! It's 1-0! Goal's been coming, and Marlon Hayward scored it. 9 minutes to go. Marlon Hayward scores for West Ham United, and the Championship side lead the Premiership side, and deservedly so. Here's Johnson. Great move! Oh, and Walker's there again. Brennan! James Walker twice in the twinkling of an eye. They have certainly had their chances, Norwich City. They have not taken them.
Jody Craddock with this free kick.
Court is up here. Cole Court. Miller! Wolves take the lead.
Chris Powell. West Ham won here last season in the FA Cup when Wolves were Premiership side. Here's Rebrov. It's a nice little chip. It's found Zamora. Bobby Zamora! A fantastic goal by West Ham. 7 minutes after conceding at the other end, West Ham are level. Zamora a little bit of good fortune, but the finish was clinical. Back on the goal trail again. It's a better ball. Well, there's all sorts of options for him here. Oh, that might come to Miller! A mistake by Jimmy Walker. That's a good change of pace. He's been everywhere today. Here's Harewood. And Zamora again! It's 2 for Bobby Zamora, and West Ham are level. A well-worked goal. Look at this from Harewood. He beat off Craddock's challenge, made it a tap-in for Zamora. West Ham player and fan is delighted. Craddock. Oh, that's put Mackay under pressure. Caught. Oh, what are West Ham doing? Ince! He might be pleased about that. Instead of looking for the equaliser, they're defending. And that's another good cross, and it's a 4th for Wolves, and it's Carl Court. He's deserved it, but it's 4-2 for Wolves. George Burley's done a fantastic job at Pride Park. It's Jackson's overlap. Raziek's up, and the big striker has given Derby a shock lead on 10 minutes. It's
not a bad cross. Harewood couldn't get it. Fletcher fighting his way in there, and he scored! Carl Fletcher! First goal for West Ham, 3 minutes after being booked, and he's put him level. And he enjoyed that. No ball. Oh, that's a great ball. It's Harewood. Lee Camp is the last man. He has to go. It has to be a red. Well, Lee Mason's pulling out a yellow. That's unbelievable. He should have been off. Rebroff. Lovely cross. Chadwick. Mullins and Harewood, right underneath the goal, has put the ball over the bar. Raziek. Headed on. He's there again. Raziek second. And Derby regain the lead. Walker. The long clearance. Good flick on. Harewood. Oh, just wide. Marlon Harewood took it down well. The push for this equaliser, which they thoroughly deserved. Sheringham couldn't get the shot in. Noble, can he do something? Chadwick, but that's a brilliant save from Camp, who shouldn't even be on the pitch.
Christian Daly and the back four has been an issue all year, and we really got unlucky with Callum Davenport, to be honest. You know, we felt we had him for the year, only for him to be called back and then loaned out to Southampton. So that was a major blow to us, because we felt we had the answer for Christian. And then obviously we brought Malky in, and he got injured more or less straight away. So it's been a real battle, that. We've fallen on some teams at difficult times as well. And we've got 14 defeats to our name, which I never envisaged we would have at this stage of the season. But the players never lost their spirit, they never lost hope, they never threw in the towel. We're in almost every game, apart from one or two, which all clubs get. We've been performed at a level, and you'd have to say in the 14 defeats, 4 or 5 of those would have been turned around with perhaps 1 or 2 players being available to us.
Not a bad crossfield ball. Michael Tong. Oh, off the post. How unlucky can you get? There's a good ball out to Harewood. Harewood gets the ball in again. Oh, what a strike from Marlon Harewood. He saves his best for Sheffield United. Scored a cracker up at Bramall Lane. And look at this one to put West Ham ahead. Quality strike. Liddell. Up goes Jagielka. And Bywater hasn't kept it out. Sheffield United and their 3,000 travelling fans are in ecstasy, and they're level.
Well, it used to be a pint of lager, but for today's players, it's still water, isn't it, after the game? Well, January wasn't a good month. West Ham found themselves in 9th position in the Championship, and February had to be a better month. They'd had a taste of the Premiership, though. They'd beaten Norwich in the FA Cup, and then, of course, if we'd have beaten Sheffield United, we'd have faced Arsenal. But February had to improve.
He's given that one away. Langley. Oh, what a good shot, and what a great save from Bywater. Not much on for him, but he put out a good stop. Cardiff making all the play here. And Langley. Oh, what a miss. How did he miss that? Rebroff. Ukrainian can always produce something, but it's to the foot of Chris Powell. Here's Fletcher! And Carl Fletcher in the last minute may have earned West Ham a vital 3 points. What a timely header. Although West Ham fought back bravely from an early Sheffield United goal with a Teddy Sheringham penalty,
they were to face a penalty shootout after a goalless extra time period.
These are big penalties now for West Ham United. I think this is Carl Fletcher. It is Fletcher. He's missed. Little to take Sheffield United to Highbury. And he's done it!
We've had injuries at important times, but on the whole we've probably underachieved, and we know that. But it's been frustrating to say the least, and everyone's been frustrated, from the players down through the coaching staff and everyone involved at the club. But we're still in with a shout, so we'll wait and see what happens.
So Rebroff with this corner. Hammers have 5 men in the 6-yard box. Well, that looked like a hand. It is. The referee perfectly positioned to see, and Harewood has a chance to put West Ham ahead, which he does. A goal to the good after just 10 minutes. Just the start Hammers needed. Familiar 2-step run up. Rebroff. Good corner, and it's in there. It looks like an own goal. I think it's McCormick. A dangerous near post corner, and it's 2-0. That looks better. Powell's cross, flicked on by Sheringham. It's Mackay, he's not offside. And West Ham are 3-0 up. This one on 39 minutes. It was a neat lay back to Powell. Sheringham's flick on. Mackay just beat the offside trap. Score is second for West Ham. Well, they really would like to get something out of this. Not cleared from West Ham. Dumba, great stop from Bywater. A brilliant second save from Blackstock. Look at this from Bywater. Really had to be on the ball. Not good defence from West Ham. Dumba's shot. Great stop from Bywater. The second one's even better. Now it's Harewood on this left-hand side. Zamora. Look at the space here for Carl Fletcher. Got time to put this one across. Sheringham's up! And it's 4. Lovely header from Teddy Sheringham in the magical 76th minute. Sheringham, great back flick to Rio Coca. He's pulled down, and Dumbe is going to get a red for this. More importantly, West Ham have a penalty, which Sheringham will take. Oh, the keeper stopped it. But we might have a retake. Keeper went early, but they normally get away with it. Sheringham, second chance. Second goal of the game for Sheringham, and it's 5 for West Ham. This will take the pressure off the shoulders of Alan Pardew. 5-0.
Well, I heard a fan say the only high he said this season was our performance at Chelsea, and I totally disagree with that because I thought we should have played better on the night. But it was significant, the Chelsea game, because it was the debut of Mark Noble, and he's a player that I felt was going to play a big part this season, and he got injured and was and has had an injury sort of prone campaign, to be honest. But when he's played, he gives us real hope because he's a player with a natural gift for football. He's a free spirit on the pitch, and they're really hard to find a player like that. He loves West Ham, and his emergence has been probably the high point for me this season.
He does break away now for Gillingham, but stopped by an excellent tackle from Steve Lomas, who puts Matthew Etherington away, and in goes Harewood, and West Ham have an early goal. in a game they really should win. Repka. The Gillingham fans showing they have a sense of humour. Here's Harewood. Almost caught Banks out at the near post. It's not a bad cross. Comes out to Andrew Crofts. Good stop from Bywater. Harewood. The Hammers pouring on the pressure. Zamora almost found a second. And this again, Fletcher's ball forward. Looks for Harewood. Hit it beautifully, but Banks was equal to the shot. Not showing him, is it going to be? Oh! Hit the crossbar, not away yet. Harewood can't get in on it. He does, the whistle's gone now, he's put it in the net. But it won't count. That's a nice touch. Here comes Matt Jarvis. Does well, and Bywater had to be quick to get down to that.
Rob Hulse wears a Leeds shirt these days after leaving West Brom, but he's still scoring goals against West Ham. Gavin Williams will consider himself unlucky not to have equalised 4 minutes later, his shot coming back off the post. But he did find the back of the net on 68 minutes to put West Ham level. A lovely finish with an aid of a deflection. Etherington hit the post, looking for a winner, but it was Sean Derry of Leeds who found it 4 minutes from time. An undeserved win for Leeds, but West Ham played well.
The question I gave you earlier was who wore the number 6 shirt in the 1985-86 season. Of course, the answer was the great Alan Devonshire. But there's a little story attached to that one, because the year previous, 84-85, I wore the 6 shirt whilst Dev was injured, recovering from a ligament injury. Of course, he got fit for that season, and who was I to argue? I had to give the shirt to the great man. Although they were out in the FA Cup, February is a great month for the Hammers. 3 successive league wins, and for the first time they hit the back of the net 5 times. Things were picking up for the Hammers, and all of a sudden, a playoff spot was looking a reality.
Preston came to Upton Park having secured a playoff place that they weren't going to surrender that easily. What was easy, though, was Nugent's opener for North End after a blunder by Stephen Bywater. Before half-time, Thomas Repka pressed the self-destruct button when he decided to lay into Brian O'Neill. Ten-man Hammers were always going to be struggling from that point on. They went further behind when Patrick Agyemang hit a second 10 minutes from time. Bobby Zamora's 87th minute finish was never going to be anything but a tame consolation on a day West Ham would want to forget.
It's a big club, and they're in the going for playoff position. So it was a great opportunity for me to play football again. Obviously, being out of the team in Wolves was an ideal situation for me. It's a big club. All my family are here, partners from here, so it's nice to bring all the kids back now, and hopefully I'll be settled for a little while to come there.
For the second year in succession, Reading's Dave Kitson was to play the role of Alan Pardew's nemesis. This time, however, he equalled last season's brace after his first goal with a header from a corner. And then, to make matters worse, in the second half, he completed a hat-trick with a great turn after Bywater could only beat out the first effort. A game for Alan Pardew to quickly forget.
The fact of football management is you don't actually get away from it. You don't. Managers might tell you little lies that they do. They play golf or they do this, but really they've got one eye on the ball, because you're always trying to improve. You're always looking to correct something that isn't quite right in your mind. Even in the greatest performance, there's always something you think, I could do a little bit better in that area. And my release is my 2 young children, who I love dearly, and I spend most of my time, my free time. We train a lot with them, and they're a great grounding for anybody, children, and a great release as well.
The Crew knocking a few balls around, but this is Williams, and a lovely ball to Howard, round the keeper, Marlon Howard. Oh, he's hit the post. What a let-off for Crew. Well, he did everything right. A touch from Rio Coca, trying to get the 1-2 going. And in doing so, he was fouled. The referee might thought. He's given a free kick, which Sheringham will take. Oh! What a classic free kick from Teddy Sheringham. A glorious free kick on the magical 76-minute mark to put West Ham ahead. Straight up the other end. And this is Varney for Crew, and they're level. But no, the linesman has seen an infringement. Can West Ham escape? It's not to be. Just hanging on by the skin of their teeth now. We're in injury time. Out to McCready, who'll knock this one back in. For Jones, well, he scored twice here last season, and he scored again and grabbed Crew a point. They've stolen one.
I've had a couple of loan spells that didn't work out, which I just wanted to get behind me and just concentrate on West Ham. Since I've been back, I've worked hard, and Gaffer's given me a chance, and it's just gone from there, really.
And they have been making most of the running. This is Connolly. That's a lovely ball. The flag stays down, and it's Hughes on Bywater for Leicester, and he's down. Well, it's a penalty, and Bywater may have no further part to play in this game. Well, Hughes was straight through, and look at this from Bywater. Well, the referee is booking him. He's very lucky not to be off. And now he faces David Connolly, his old teammate. And Leicester ahead on 25 minutes. And it's David Connolly from the penalty spot. As he really could have wished. Noble breaking. It's an intelligent ball to Harewood. That's not a bad cross. Sheringham! And West Ham equalise within 3 minutes of the Leicester goal. And Teddy Sheringham, good ball from Noble, but just look at this cross from Harewood. Only had a second to look, but made the goal so easy for Sheringham. And this maybe is why Pardew plays him out on the right. It was an exquisite cross, but beautifully executed. Great time run from Sheringham. And West Ham all ends up level. Good clearance from Walker. Ward lost that one. Gillespie. Oh, what a goal! Out of nowhere. Keith Gillespie with a quite spectacular strike. Now Harewood again. A good game, really. Little touch on Zamora to Sheringham. It's in there! And West Ham are level. Great header from Sheringham. He started it all. Harewood, intelligent ball. Sheringham took it on. And although it got a little clip off Dabizas, it's Sheringham's second goal of the night, and West Ham are level. Look at this, Zamora couldn't get to the ball. His deflection, but the goalie had no chance. There's a neat touchdown. Is Noble! Just wide, Mark Noble. Well, it was wonderful play from West Ham. Ball in from Zamora, chest down from Sheringham. Excellent effort from Noble, just wide. With a bit of curl on it, another yard, it may well have found the back of Walker's net. West Ham look for the elusive third. Zamora, a bit of good fortune there. Hits it across, it's to Noble! And that's got to be handball on the line. Dabizas protesting at the ref. And he's off. Zamora did the work, got the cross to Noble. 2 men on the line, and there's Dabizas' hand. West Ham have a penalty with 10 minutes to go. And it's Marlon Harewood with the 1-2 walk-up. Oh, well, it's a good save from Walkup, but it wasn't a great penalty. Sheringham's missed one, Zamora's missed one, and now Harewood's missed one. And what a vital one it is.
I come on for like 15 minutes at home against Southend in the earlier round, but then when we had Chelsea and the gaffer told me I was on the bench, I was just overwhelmed, and then with our support there, it was unbelievable. I had like 5 of my mates there, my dad and obviously my family and that, and my mum and dad and my uncle and that. It was unbelievable. Because what happened was I come on just after half time, and I looked to my left, and Good Johnson, Duff and Lampard was coming on at the same time. So I was like looking at them thinking, they're stars, I'm standing here, I've played one 20-minute game, it's unbelievable, honest.
The answer to my question a little bit earlier, that little teaser I gave you, who were the only 2 ever presents other than me in 85 and 86? One was that world-class drinker and goalkeeper Phil Parkes, and the other one was that great little right winger Mark Ward, and what a pain in the backside he was. Well, back to the Hammers. It was a miserable March for Alan Pardew and the boys, just 2 points from 4 games. That is a miserable return. But the one shining light was the signing of Sean Newton, and April had to change, and it had to change for the better.
It's a nice flick from Mullins. Sheringham. Good from Rio Coca. Poor from Harewood. A real chance to put Hammers ahead before half-time. He's put it wide. This is the game they really have to win. That's not a great header from Ferdinand. Here's Roberts. And Wigan take the lead. And maybe it was coming. Such a good presence from the West Ham fans who've made this journey. Here's Ward. A flick on from Newton. Might come to Sheringham. And that's the equaliser. Just 4 minutes after Roberts put Wigan ahead. What an important goal that might turn out to be. Ward. A lovely little flick from Newton. Wigan's defence all over the place, but Sheringham made sure. There's again a nice flick from Noble. Harewood's onto it. And Hammers have the lead. And look how pleased Marlon Harewood is. Well, he's made up for that miss at the end of the first half with a clinical finish. The flick from Noble. Look at this from Harewood. Glorious goal. And those are the fans who've made the journey, and it may well be worthwhile for them. And Mullins. Over the power pushes into Harewood, who finds Sheringham. It could have been very different. Sheringham measured that. Just wide. It's the hospital throw. And Harewood's in on this. Marlon Harewood sets it up for Sheringham. Teddy Sheringham, goal number 21. And these two between them have now scored 38 for the season for West Ham. It's a vital goal, and it may give them 3 points and a second successive away win. Teddy Sheringham. Another long clearance from Walker. Pushed in by Newton. Chip from Sheringham. Luke Steele happy to grab that. Good ball in from Newton. Nice touch from Harewood. Sheringham's chip not quite high enough to beat Steele. Harewood sent chasing after that. Richard Shaw's with him. It's a good run from Harewood. A nice chip. Steele makes another good save. Beating that one out. The young keeper did very well there. It's a lovely run from Harewood. He beat Shaw, all ends up, and a shot that was just creeping in the post, but for the save by Steele. It's just been an inspired performance all round. Repka. Sheringham. It's a good cross, a flick from Noble, and he's inches away from scoring his first for West Ham. The most subtle of flicks, we'll see how close it was on the replay. Sheringham saw him there, pushed the ball into the 6-yard box, lovely flick, still beaten, but so was the post. What a find this young man is. Coventry's chance early in the second half. A good header from Page. Great save from Walker, and it needed to be. Page got up. Walker did what was required. Etherington's corner. Great jump from Ferdinand, and Steele's denied him with a fabulous save. Ferdinand headed the ball down, and Steele somehow got a hand on that. Another corner headed out. Great effort, and Noble couldn't put the rebound in. It all came to him in a second, but look at this snapshot. Newton's hit that beautifully. Steele's beaten it out, but Noble couldn't keep it down. It's Etherington's cross, as ever. Coventry just can't seem to string two passes together at the moment. Etherington. Oh! Oh, Richard Shaw. Quite a good header, actually, but West Ham, who've dominated this game from start to finish, finally get a goal in the 76th minute, the magical 76, and it's scored by a Coventry player. Well, they all count. The missing Coventry fans, you can see in the seats, but now maybe the tidal wave can start. Etherington, oh, right in front of the referee, and it's a penalty. He didn't look like he was going to go down, Etherington. He got into the area, but he just caught Coventry defender's foot, and Sheringham has a chance for West Ham second. And Steele saved that, but not the rebound. But maybe it's got to be taken again. Sheringham won't be the first time he's taken a penalty twice for West Ham. It was a bit too cheeky, that. Even then, he did put the rebound in. See what he does with a second effort. Twice good, and two for West Ham. Teddy Sheringham. No doubt about this one. Nothing tricky about this. Look at Etherington. He wasn't going to look at it. He was the one who earned it. Sheringham was the one who scored it. West Ham now have a little bit of a cushion. Coventry, very little time to get anything out of this game. That penalty, the time taken to take it twice, it's taken us into the final minute. Actually moving into injury time now. Etherington with the ball again. That's a great cross, and Zamora makes it 2 for West Ham inside a minute. And goals which could prove so important for a playoff place. At a premium it would have seemed with quarter of an hour to go, but West Ham now have 3 of them. And Bobby Zamora it is who scores a welcome third. Pleasure for Alan Pardew, and West Ham have 3.
You know, I wanted the club to be in the Premiership. We should have made it last year. You know, we got to the playoff final, great opportunity, and we didn't take it, unfortunately. So we've had a difficult year this year with injuries and things, but we're still carrying at the moment a very good team, and with some really good young players who are getting better at learning how to deal with the pressure this club brings, and hopefully we're going to, you know, at the end of it have something to say.
Rio Coker, well, he's given that one away, and West Ham are stretched at the back here. Hales is in, he's round the keeper, and Millwall, a shock lead. Poor defending from West Ham, but they were caught out. No ball. Just steered to Etherington from Powell. Powell's made a reverse run, but that's a nice ball. Good 1-2, Etherington, Howard! A spectacular equaliser from Marlon Howard. Well, it was a great ball in from Etherington. Howard still had something to do, and he certainly did it. Marlon Howard. That's a good ball out to Newton, causing Millwall havoc on this right wing. That's not a bad cross. Howard! What a save! Genius on both sides. Marlon Howard with the most spectacular overhead you'll see for a while here at Upton Park. But look at this save from the Millwall keeper. Get any distance on that at all. This is Howard. Tormenting the defence. He's got round the back. Here's Bobby Zamora! A vital goal for West Ham, and it's been coming. Bobby Zamora.
It's nice to run out of the team support and hear your fans cheering your name, you know. And recently they've been really getting behind me, and you know it's a bonus to myself, and you know all the players can notice it, you know, when the fans are behind you. It's a bite me lip. Keep training hard, and you know the odd 10 minutes I get here and there, and as a sub, you know, I've got to do my best, and that's what I've tried to do. You know, I'd love to be here and love to be getting them in the Premiership. So you know it's going to be tough if we don't do it. You know, we've got to knuckle down next season and really dig in and put the performances and get the win and the runs going.
It's an excellent run here from Etherington, and Rio Coker will put this one in. Unselfish from Marlon Howard, and West Ham have the lead on just 8 minutes. Great run from Etherington, but look at this. Lovely touch from Howard, and Rio Coker did the rest. Lovely back flick. Sheringham puts Rio Coker in for a second, but he's wide. Lovely move from West Ham, but it should have been 2. Up goes Hammond, and Brighton are level early in the second half, and it's Dean Hammond. Okay. It's a flick on thinking Campbell Butters. This is Howard, and West Ham's lead is restored within a couple of minutes. It's Route 1 stuff, but Howard, he doesn't miss these. Made so much of the play. This is a great run from Newton, who's retrieved that brilliantly and round his man. Beautiful cross for Harewood! Oh, well, he should have buried that. Great work from Newton, and it seemed just a tap-in almost for Harewood, but he put it over. And we are in injury time now, and Hammond has stolen a point for Brighton, but it may cost West Ham a playoff place.
A stunning achievement for Mark Noble in his first season at the club to be voted Young Player of the Year, in addition to finishing runner-up Hammer of the Year at the age of just 17. He was beaten to the prize by a man old enough to have been his father, Teddy Sheringham, also in his first season at the club. It was a remarkable achievement by Sheringham, some declaring him as fit as they'd ever seen him.
Teddy is just a class above, you know. He always has been and always will be in my eyes. I think people like him from afar, but I think you appreciate him even more when you play with him, because he always gives you an outlet. He always sees things before he receives the ball, which sounds a bit funny, but he knows what's going on around him. Not too many players have that skill. It's an art. It is an art in itself, and you know, people always say, "Oh, if he only had a half a yard of, you know, a bit quicker." But no, I don't see that at all. I mean, you can see by his goals tally this year, by his assists, you know, and by his general round play. I mean, he's well appreciated by the players immensely, and obviously by the fans. They made him his player of the year, and rightly so.
And still exposed. Oh, could be in trouble here. What a save from Walker, but it's in. No. Offside. Chris Brown. It's Harewood! What a save by Alnwick. How did he get to that? A quite stupendous save. A wonderful free kick for West Ham. For just a couple of minutes at half time, as Etherington picks up the ball for West Ham. Heads down towards goal. Here's Harewood. He's done it! Marlon Harewood goes into the 20s. Alnwick did not even move. Look at this finish from Harewood with the outside of the left foot, right in the corner. Alnwick rooted to the spot. All played into space by Brown. Could be problems for West Ham. It's going to be in there. Sunderland the level. Disaster in the West Ham defence. It may have been Archer who got the touch. Harewood's cross. It'll come to Rio Coca and placed just over by Mullins. It was set up beautifully for him. And now here's Elliott. And it's all over now. Suddenly the ground has gone silent.
Great book. Shame about the author though, isn't it? April started really poorly. Just 1 point in 3 games for the Hammers, but they certainly picked up towards the end of the month. 3 successive away victories. Still couldn't beat us in 85-86. We had 5 victories then. But West Ham did find themselves back in a playoff position.
The criticism of us stems a lot from that playoff final, that we didn't turn up, we didn't play, etc, etc. And our preparation for that game, I have to say, was as good as it could have been, and every player tried their damnedest to make it happen. We probably had the best chance of the game. We missed a penalty, or the referee missed a penalty that we should have had. So little things change those big occasions, and unfortunately, like a playoff final, then moments need to fall your way. They didn't last year. Hopefully they'll fall this year if we get the opportunity.
Newton with the corner. As he pushed Ward and Ferdinand up. And this is Ward from Etherington's pass. Ferdinand! And the 2 central defenders have linked up to score a vital goal for West Ham. A clinical strike from Ferdinand, and Hammers ahead. Pushed in by Etherington. That looks like a handball from Chambers, it is, and it's a penalty for West Ham. Marlon Harewood. Perfect, and it could be a playoff place for the Hammers. No doubt, from the moment he kicked it. What a great header from Ferdinand, and Repka's push Helgeson off the ball, and Watford have a late penalty. Walker couldn't reach it. Watford back in it. 2 minutes of injury time. What a save from Walker! Watford still looking for the equaliser. It's another great save, tipped against the bar and over. Hammers preserve the lead. Great goalkeeping.
A breathtaking and unexpectedly effective run into the end of the season meant that West Ham had managed to scrape into the playoffs by finishing the season in 6th position. Their opponents, the team who had missed out on automatic promotion by a mere 2 points, and their semi-final opponents from the previous year, Ipswich Town. Could Hammers replicate their memorable away form in a midweek second leg at Portman Road? More to the point, could they start the semi-final playoff with a decent win at home in the first leg?
Harewood takes it quickly, finding Zamora. Etherington screaming for it. Instead he finds Chris Powell. That's not a bad cross either, but nobody at the far post to pick it up, and Wilness clears for Ipswich. Good flick from Diallo. Ferdinand wasting no time. Well, Harewood not interfering with play, says Rennie. And here's Etherington. Harewood! And West Ham have an unbelievable start to this game. Not even 7 minutes gone, and Marlon Harewood has put them ahead with goal number 22. Excellent refereeing from Uriah Rennie, who allowed the ball to go through, even though Harewood was offside, because he wasn't interfering with play. But he continued his run back. Etherington pulled the ball across, and there he was to tuck it away. Excellent play from all concerned. Davis had no chance. Ipswich's defence absolutely flat-footed. And more importantly, West Ham, a goal to the good. It's a good long one. Zamora showed too much of it in the end. Mullins has picked it up. Powell. Birthday boy and captain Rio Coca finds Matthew Etherington. It's another great cross, and Zamora's made it 2! This is unbelievable! It was Etherington again after the flick. He hit an intelligent ball across. It wasn't cleared, and Zamora tapped it in. And again, as you'll see, the ball came out. It was Jason DeVos who didn't clear it, and Zamora stroked it in. Kuchi bundled over by Repka. Ipswich have a free kick. It's a dangerous position. Well, really, that's a crazy decision. And yet, because he's Thomas Repka, he's got a yellow. And here they go. Someone's got to block it. Player on the line again now. Oh, it's in! It's a disaster for West Ham. It hit the post, and it went in off the back of Jimmy Walker. It'll have to be an own goal. It wasn't going in. But Walker, who'd already committed himself, the free kick just placed Walker couldn't get there, and you fancy that Cucci may have got it. We'll have another look. It may even have gone, it's gone off Walker's foot. It's a near post one. Mullins. Back out to Newton, done well. And another excellent cross! It's nearly in, but a fabulous save from Davis. It had to be. What a wonderful header. Beautifully hit corner. Mullins did everything right, placing it back out to Newton. And when the cross came over, it did look as though Anton Ferdinand had got goal number 2. He headed it down, made it difficult for Davis. What a save that was. Even better on the replay. Curry and now Westlake. Ferdinand got the ball out. And he's done it again, Anton Ferdinand. Good timed interception. Here's Richards. Curry turns a dangerous looking cross in again. Ward couldn't get up there. Excellent block. Oh dear. It's a gift of a goal. Cucci has been gifted a goal by the most desperate mistake on the line. And Ipswich, who don't deserve it, have an equaliser. Ferdinand and Walker got into all manner of confusion, and it could be that the Premiership is disappearing for West Ham. Ward's header wasn't good enough. Walker needed to call. Ferdinand headed it out of his hands, and Cucci, who thought he wasn't even going to get a chance, suddenly found himself with an open goal. Noble, look at this from Noble. Wonderful control, change of speed into the area. Noble, round 2, he's pulled down. It's got to be a penalty. Unbelievable, and Ipswich ride their luck again. Mullins, straight through the middle of the field, straight up, all the way, Mullins! Good stop from Davis, excellent run, but DeVos has escaped here. Look at this. Well, he's caught him with the foot. It's got to be a penalty. Noble can't believe it. Harewood. He's done well here, Marlon Harewood. What a shot! Just wide! He's furious that he hasn't got a corner. He thinks Davis got a hand to that. He didn't give up on this, Harewood, and the power of this effort. Well, all you can say is that your irony was correct, that it was not a corner, but how close was that? And Harewood's had a great game. He's been unlucky.
West Ham then with it all to do, and the favourites tag shifting slightly to the home side Ipswich. But nobody reckoned on the local West Ham fan who was about to play the game of his life.
Etherington towards Fletcher, and offside. Flag up against Elliott Ward.
Well, I thought it was an outrageous ball in the first place to have played from the corner, because it's a long way out to Carl Fletcher, but it nearly worked. It's just that Ipswich was so drilled in getting out. That was fantastic. They're getting stronger, they're getting better. They're winning the knockdowns, winning the 50-50s, West Ham.
Great ball that from Fletcher for Repka. And Davis beats it away.
Bobby Zamora gives him no run at all whatsoever when Repka gets down here. Now the striker, Bobby, in the middle, should be holding, waiting, and then run across. He's not sure. Thomas Repka's not sure whether he wants it towards the keeper or he wants him to pull it back. In the end, they're fortunate to get a corner out of it.
Well, Fletcher and Repka have the vision, but it wasn't quite matched by Zamora. Etherington's corner. And it's dropped just wide. Ferdinand flicking it on.
Oh, if he doesn't touch it, if he doesn't touch this ball, Matt Elliott Ward has a real chance of sticking this ball in the back of the net. Matt Flick just takes it away from him. Or claret and blue, I should say. Here I'll get the blues and oranges mixed up.
It's Curry. Good effort. Oh! And Jimmy Walker happy to see that one squirm over.
Well, you wonder what the goalkeeper's doing. I think he's already decided he's got this ball, no problem, and he's going to start the next move because it's going to his right. And then all of a sudden his arms are like holding the baby because they're swinging one way, then they're swinging the other.
Now Zamora. Harewood once again is making a dart into the middle. So is Rio Coca. Can Zamora pick them out? Well, it's going to come to Thomas Repka. And Repka's gone past Richards. And from a very acute angle, he had a go, and Davis has blocked it and hurt himself, perhaps.
He's never going to score from there. That's one thing for certain. That's decent by Bobby Zamora. Thomas Repka hoping for the dive in there by Matt Richards, but look at that, as you said, from that angle, actually it's Kelvin Davis right in the face. Right bang in the face. He doesn't know get his arms down because of the pace and the power towards the ball. Smack in the face.
But it's Fletcher. Now Harewood. He's got away from Richards, across it goes! It's the all-important first goal of the night, and Bobby Zamora, West Ham fan, scores for the team of his dreams.
Oh, it's fantastic play from start to finish this. It's a magnificent ball in the first place from Fletcher. But watch Matt Richards, Joe Royal be saying to him, why are you so tight? There's no need to be so tight. If you get that tight to the striker, all he will do is roll away from you. And then once he's rolled away from Matt Richards, he has the quality to look up with the ability as well to put that ball on a plate for Bobby Zamora. And Bobby says, that's on the foot that I love and I cherish. The left one it is, and it goes, and off we go, 1-0.
He's got away from Curry.
Sometimes he does things that are just quality, and that was one of them. So frustrating at times, though.
Harewood now seeking out Zamora! He's done it again! Fabulous finish from Bobby Zamora! And the Premiership dream isn't just alive, it's alive and kicking for West Ham United.
Oh, what a goal! What a goal! I can tell you now, you will go the length and breadth of the country to see anything better than this, because it is absolutely wonderful. Marlon Harewood in the first place to get round the back, then he looks up and he drops this onto the left foot of Bobby Zamora, but it's not finished with yet. You've got to have the control and the quality then to lift it over a top-class goalkeeper. That is just sensational. What a goal that is! And he says it all on that run. We're on front by 2.
They're rather used to the feeling, but they don't like it. They don't like it at all. West Ham have won it. West Ham have done it. Their bubbles just won't burst. Forever blowing bubbles at the Millennium Stadium, it seems. Alan Pardew, for the second year running, has taken West Ham United to the playoff final, under fire, under pressure, under everything. But he's one match away from taking them back into the big time, and he is the reason why. 2-goal hero, Bobby Zamora. It's agony for Ipswich. It's ecstasy for West Ham.
Barely 2 seasons at Upton Park under his belt, and here was manager Alan Pardew leading his team out for their second successive playoff final, the last ever to be played at Cardiff's Millennium Stadium.
Newton now, Repka charging outside of him. Can he slip it through? He can! Oh, it's hit the post! Thomas Repka, who's never ever scored for West Ham.
Well, the first thing you say is Newton, get rid of it, give it to Repka. But he waited and he waited and he waited, and when he thought it wasn't on, he actually plays it. Look at that, he waits and waits, and then he provides the wonderful pass into the middle. It's a great, great ball, but the problem is the angle for which he's going for is very tight. Even if he gets it on target, Carlo Nash would have got it.
Zamora now, and Etherington! Oh, what a stop from Carlo Nash.
Yeah, it's a good stop. The only reason it's a really good stop is because he decides to go the other way. He thinks Matthew Etherington's going to hit this across the goals, but it doesn't go as far as it it should. Watch him, he edges left almost immediately, and then it comes to his right-hand side, near post. You would expect your goalkeeper to deal with that, and those big, strong hands do.
Rio Coca on a burst, slips it through for Harewood. What a stop, but Zamora surely. It's off the line by Mulwinny, and Carlo Nash foils Harewood again. Incredible.
Well, between Carlo Nash and Yul Mulwinny, this is absolutely fantastic. Just watch this hand that Carlo Nash gets on the hand from Bobby Zamora. Look at that ball from Rio Coca. It's Mulwinny that plays him onside. The right arm comes out. Bobby sets himself. There you are. I'm your insurance, says Mulwinny. And then Carlo says, OK, you've helped me once, but this time I'm going to deal with it myself. And that stop and save ends it all.
Zamora! He's done it this time! Bobby Zamora is the man of the moment, the man of the Millennium Stadium, and West Ham have the lead in the Championship playoff final.
Well, it's a fantastic ball from Matthew Etherington. The only thing you can say from Preston's point of view, watch Claude Davis on this pitch, because his feet just go from under him. He's just about to deliver the ball into the box, Etherington. Claude Davis gets himself in a fantastic position, and then he slips. That right leg goes away from him, and the ball lands at the feet of Zamora. And how cool and comfortable is this finish? This is easy for Bobby Zamora, and he makes it look easy, and he puts it miles away from Nash. And West Ham are one in front. Look at him go. 1-0 to us. We're on our way.
Bobby Zamora, a West Ham fan, and thousands of other West Ham fans are jubilant. Walker has come for that. Oh, he's gone outside of his area. He's taken it outside of the box.
He's done his knee. He's done his knee. He's come down and twisted his knee. He's in trouble. I don't think the goalkeeper will carry on. He's off as well. Anyway, doesn't make any difference. Is it deliberate handball? No, I think he's shaking his head saying accidental, like Riley, but I think one thing for certain, he's twisted his knee.
And Steve Bywater is going to have to face this free kick.
Remember the goal against Sunderland where they messed about, putting people on the line. Chris Powell, are they going to do that again? Is that going to cause them as many problems as it did in that game?
Here it comes. It's McKenna, and Bywater's first contribution is to stop that.
Well, that time it was perfect. The wall was superb. Chris Powell's got the right-hand post covered, and the goalkeeper's got that area to himself, and it just comes to him nicely.
It's over. No need to pinch yourself. It's true. West Ham United will be blowing bubbles in the Premiership again. Bobby Zamora's goal has taken them up. And Alan Pardew, who's been under fire, under pressure, under everything, has the last laugh. His time has come. Their time has come. Like my dreams, they fade and die. Not today. The dream is alive. The Premiership dream.
Well, we're not really worried who gets the credit, really, are we? As long as West Ham are back in the Premiership where they belong. It's been a funny old season, up and down, topsy-turvy, whatever way you want to describe it. But thankfully, we're back in the Premiership. That's where we belong.